Good, happy Thursday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. First up, person shot in chest in Manchester. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
First. As the nation's first credit union, our values haven't changed, but the times have. From mortgages and auto loans to mobile banking solutions, we deliver all the services and technologies you need for the way you live today. We work for the individuals, families, and businesses that make up our membership, not some distant stockholders. We always have and we always will. Bank with the nation's first credit union, St. Mary's Bank.
Yeah, Tom and Shelley police responded here to the scene at Merrimack and Beach Streets. We're just about 4 blocks from downtown Manchester. They have since cleared the scene within the past hour, but here's some video that we did record earlier. Once again, Manchester's fire department confirming that one person was shot here. Witnesses tell us that person was taken from the scene to the hospital. We do not know the person's condition at this hour. You may hear sirens in the background. That is unrelated to this scene. That's the fire department responding to something else in this area. Now, police were focused on a car stopped in the middle of the street. We spoke briefly with police. We were told that they would only be able to release confirmed information once detectives fully assess the situation. We did see police questioning people living around here. A lot of neighbors out. They told us they were too afraid to talk on camera. One woman did tell us, though, it has been tough here in her neighborhood.
This is really bad. It's happening everywhere. In the summertime, somebody was shot right on my street. It's heartbreaking that somebody would do that to anybody. I grew up here. I was born in Manchester. It happens everywhere, right? But this never used to go on. I don't think it's ever been this bad.
And once again, the Manchester Fire Department is confirming that one person was shot here tonight. We do not know that person's identity or the person's condition at this hour. We're just waiting for more information from Manchester Police. Live in Manchester, Jean Mackin, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Suicidal man prompts shelter in place. Warning in Brettonwood neighborhood. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9.
As the nation's first credit union, our values haven't changed, but the times have. From mortgages and auto loans to mobile banking solutions, we deliver all the services and technologies you need for the way you live today. We work for the individuals, families, and businesses that make up our membership, not some distant stockholders. We always have and we always will. Bank with the nation's first credit union, St. Mary's Bank.
That's right. Obviously, the events of 2 years ago on the top of everyone's mind tonight. The good news, the scene is all clear at this hour. The bad news, a man was found dead inside of his home. Now, authorities from multiple agencies were called here to a home on Mill Pond Road around 1 this afternoon for reports of a suicidal man. That triggered a shelter in place for all people who live in this area. Police tell us they tried to get to the man and talk him out of the situation, but they had no luck. The man was later found dead inside his home to an apparent suicide. Police say they're not releasing any more information on that individual while they continue to notify family members. All of this, of course, triggering horrific memories of when Officer Stephen Arkell was killed.
It's scary, you don't know what's going on, but that was horrific because it was so violent, loss of life, more loss of life, but the explosion too was incredible. I mean, you don't forget that kind of stuff.
Honestly, the guys did a fantastic job. I don't think anybody even thought about that while this was going on. They may reflect on that now.
Now, people were allowed back into their homes at around 4:30 this afternoon. Police expect to release more information later on tonight. Live in Brentwood, I'm Charisse LeClaire, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Republicans ready to support Ginta after narrow win. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9.
New Hampshire families first. As the nation's first credit union, our values haven't changed, but the times have. From mortgages and auto loans to mobile banking solutions, we deliver all the services and technologies you need for the way you live today. We work for the individuals, families, and businesses that make up our membership, not some distant stockholders. We always have and we always will. Bank with the nation's first credit union, St. Mary's Bank.
We're a family, and families sometimes have disagreements.
But for more than a year, it was a family that had disowned him. So you really couldn't blame Frank Ginta if he felt a small measure of satisfaction on Wednesday, as those who had called for his political head on a platter sang a different tune. From the Senate President
I want to congratulate Congressman Frank Ginta
to the Speaker of the House,
So get out there and work for those Republican candidates.
to Senator Kelly Ayotte.
Us coming together, we will succeed. Up and down this ticket.
All embrace the ticket that Frank Ginta is once again a part of.
We are a unified party. I'm looking forward to making sure that everyone on this ticket wins in New Hampshire, starting with Kelly Ayotte.
Elections are about the people. They make the decisions. It's the party's job to make sure that those Republicans who have been chosen get elected. And we're ready to do that for all of our nominees.
During last week's Granite State debate, though, challenger Rich Ashew said if Ginta won the primary, he might support him, with conditions.
So, if Frank was to admit that he broke the law, admit that he lied about it, and apologize to the voters, then I'd consider supporting him.
Well, none of that happened, so true to his word, Ashew only offered support to the GOP ticket collectively. But if hard feelings do exist, they weren't visible on Wednesday, and the newly minted GOP candidate for governor pinned much of the drama on a familiar foil.
That's all press-driven. That really is all press-driven. Sorry about that. So the general election first CD matchup now threatens to give the Rocky franchise a run for its money. This November, New Hampshire voters will witness Ginta Shea Porter Part 4. Live in the studio, Josh McKelvin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. $12,000 square foot New Hampshire liquor and wine outlet to open in Pembroke. A 12,000 square foot New Hampshire liquor and wine outlet is set to open in Pembroke on Thursday. This is the 26th liquor store that the New Hampshire Liquor Commissioner has renovated or relocated since 2012, and the first New Hampshire liquor and wine outlet located in Pembroke. The stand-alone store is located in the Pembroke Crossings Plaza at 619 Sand Road. Hillary Clinton returns to campaign trail aimed more secreting about her health. After 3 days resting at home, Hillary Clinton is set to return to the campaign trail for her first public appearance since her pneumonia diagnosis. Today, the Democratic presidential nominee, who released additional medical information from her doctor Wednesday, saying a recent physical was normal and she is in excellent mental condition, will hold a campaign event in Greensboro, North Carolina, and then attend the Congressional Hispanic-Coskia Institute dinner in Washington, D.C. Clinton's return to the trail is a source to come with additional scrutiny and questions regarding her overall health. U.S. futures slightly higher ahead of slew of data. U.S. stock index future indicated a slight higher open on Thursday morning as traders eyed the release of one last big data dump before the U.S. Federal Reserve meets next week to decide on interest rates. Ivanka Trump wrong about Trump Organization's level policy. Let's take a listen to this video from CNN.
Personal. I don't think they know that about her. I do.
Sarah, you're covering Donald Trump in Pennsylvania today. He's been slashing Hillary Clinton on her deplorables remark nonstop. What did he say to supporters there?
Well, that's right, Don. Donald Trump clearly senses a political opening here, and he has been trying to capitalize on that as much as possible while Hillary Clinton has not been on the campaign trail, and he certainly kept that up tonight just outside of Philadelphia.
While my opponent slanders you as deplorable and irredeemable, I call you hard-working American patriots who love your country, love your families, and want a better future for all Americans.
Now, of course, this was a speech about child care policy, but Donald Trump still managed to get a couple digs in there against Hillary Clinton. Don?
And his daughter Ivanka was on the trail with him tonight talking about his plan to help working families pay for child care expenses. Let's listen to a bit of that.
The United States is the only industrialized nation in the world that does not provide new mothers with paid maternity leave. My father's policy will give paid leave to mothers whose employers are among the almost 90% of U.S. businesses that currently do not offer this benefit.
So why now? Why roll out a child care plan now, Sarah?
Well, Ivanka was pointing out that this is something that she was really pushing for, that this is something she wanted her father to do. So I think we're seeing a little bit of her influence here. But I also think that Donald Trump is looking at some political realities here. He's still struggling with female voters. He's still struggling with suburban voters. And to put out policies like this, policies that aren't necessarily the kinds of things Republicans have touted in the past, for instance, paid maternity leave, I think the Trump campaign is certainly hoping that they're able to convince some voters to give him a second look, voters who may have previously written him off or felt like that he doesn't necessarily care about the issues that are near and dear to their hearts.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday. See you back here later on today. Goodbye, everyone.